is that we're doing this event and we're looking for teams based off of the councils to come together, help raise some awareness about the DRC, as well as raise a little bit of money in the meantime while having a little bit of fun. There will be some food out there for students, that way you don't have to spend quite as much money at the spring game if you're attending to go pick up your tickets. But nonetheless, it should be rather fun. But right now, the executive branch has just finished putting our team together, and I will let you all know that I will be pitching, so good luck to anybody that intends to hit anything I'm throwing. And furthermore, we would like to see each of you, especially off the councils, put together your teams. It should be a rather good day, lots of good competition, and kind of a new tradition that we're hoping to see continue afterwards. So thank you again. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to reports of council. As always, 1 to 2 minutes, please. 1 to 2 minutes. Thanks. Arts and Sciences President Allison Hunter.
Sure. On April 17th, council will be hosting a day of service. We're going to be cleaning up our council room in Davidson 112. On April 25th, we're going to be hosting Finals Fiesta in collaboration with SAB. Unfortunately, that is the same day as the Senate banquet, but if you want to go beforehand, we'll be doing that in the Red Barn from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, we'll be handing out graduation cords to everyone that is going to be walking for the for graduation from the College of Arts and Sciences. That's going to be on May 13th at graduation. That's all.
Thank you. Business President Emily Baldock.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'll make this really short. 2 things. We have our date set for our finals lunch, which is the 19th, and then our faculty appreciation lunch, which is April 22nd. And then I'm also working on putting together a student panel that we normally have at our faculty appreciation lunch, which is just an opportunity for a Q&A between our faculty and our students, just to kind of gauge that everyone's on the same page and just talk through any issues and make sure that any wants or needs are expressed. So that's all that is going on in CFE.
Thank you. Education President Justine Huffman.
I'll give you an answer. Yes. Hi. Education Council. We had a really successful lunch with the dean a couple weeks ago. One of the things that we're doing as a council is we have some students from the College of Ed going to Belize on a service trip. So we're donating some supplies for them to go and help teach the students down there, and then also we're in the process of planning our end-of-the-year event. So excited.
Thank you. Music President Nick Pape. All right. Speed School President Mike Shane.
Speed School this last week held their engineers ball, and we had the change of officers, so I am technically no longer the Speed School president, but I'll give the report anyway. Also, right now, the only thing we're really working on is we're switching over the officers. They're all taking over and planning some events for the summer, and working with the admissions office for Speed School for the orientation sessions.
Thank you. Nursing School President Cameron Lewis.
I'm filling in for Cam. Yesterday we went and visited our Owensboro campus that just left their own class officers, and right now we're also planning an end-of-the-year event for our nursing students for April 21st. And we're going to elect our new executive officers next week. And that's it.
Thank you. We're now going to move on to reports of boards and standing committees, starting with SGA Supreme Court Alex Perlmeyer. There are representatives from the court here. Does anyone need to say anything?
Yeah, I can say that Alex is actually on the way right now, and I was actually just here for the resolution or whatever the matter is later on.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on. SGA Senate Executive Board Chairman Deep Agrawal.
No report.
Thank you. SGA Senate Academic Policy Board Chairman Curtis Frizzell.
Academic Policy Board did meet, and I already discussed the student of the month, etc. We will have one more meeting, and then the APB will be concluded. It will be on April 14th at 8 p.m. in the Student Government Association office. If any of you like to come, feel free to.
Thank you. SGA Senate Appropriations Committee Chairman Mike Shane.
Appropriations met today. We had 4 requests submitted. However, only 1 request showed up, and that request was tabled until 2 weeks from now. So we won't have any requests today.
Thank you. SGA Senate Development Board Chairman Travis Galt.
Report.
SGA Senate Student Organizations Board Chairman Ben Donlin.
We met Tuesday, and we have 8 new RSOs, hopefully.
Thank SGA Senate Facilities Committee, Chairman Abby Smith.
I think Dale covered it all.
You covered a lot, okay. SAB Liaison, Chairman Ben Donlin.
Really not a whole lot. They are doing post secret right now. By the time we get done, it'll be over with. So no need to go to it afterwards. And they're picking their new chairs and vice chairs this coming weekend. So,
Thank you. SGA Senate Safety and Parking Committee, Chairman Dwayne Dix.
No report.
Thank you. SGA Senate Spirit and Traditions Committee, Chairman Cody Grodick.
Yes, some cool stuff, guys. As you know from past reports, we're hoping on redoing the freshman orientation. This is going to be a kind of like a little booklet that's going to go out to all the Gen 101 classes, information about campus, things like that. We're now considering having lots of options in it where you can actually tear out papers. A lot of pieces will be blank with things like stickers in the back. What we're hoping now, it's going to go out fine. What we're hoping is after you go to an event, say something like a UofL versus UK game, or the Shamrock and Run, something like that, you actually get some kind of award or sticker that you can put in your book with, say, a photo of yourself with your friends, stuff like that. And at the end of your 4 years at UofL, you can actually turn this into admissions office and say get an actual tassel or something with your graduation. And I just want to say this is all, none of this has been finalized. It's just something we're talking about. A lot of this is going to have to be appropriated next year, but it is something we're just thinking. Thank you.
SGA Senate Sustainability Committee, Chairman Deepa Patel. Thank you. SGA Senate Student Engagement Committee, Chairman Kelsey Smithson.
We just talked about how to have a better student engagement committee next year.
Okay, we are now going to move on to new business. And before we start new business, I want to read something from the bylaws to you all. Okay. Section 202.8. When a senator desires to speak, he or she shall address the presiding officer and shall not proceed until he or she is recognized. No senator shall interrupt another in debate without his consent, except where a motion is in order. To obtain this consent, he or she shall first address the presiding officer. We got a lot on the table tonight, and it's going to require respect from everyone to get through it. I don't want to hear this, all that stuff. It's not happening tonight. We don't have time for that. I'm not interested. Sorry if you get mad at me. I don't really care. Everybody else is going to respect me a lot more for shutting you up. So, do it the right way. I keep a list. It goes pages and pages long, but I promise I keep a list. You will have your turn to speak. With that being said, because we have so much on the agenda and because we need to move through it, I'm going to limit during each motion each person to speak 2 times and only 2 times, and to have 2 minutes per time that they speak. Per motion. So if you want to get, it's not like you gotta only speak on one thing or another. 2 times per motion. Any questions?
Parliamentary inquiry, you would still be allowed to make motions that are in order on
Yes.
top of the discussion time.
Yes.
That's a discussion time limitation.
Yes. Discussion time limitation. You can make motions. Yes. In answer to your question. So everybody together.
Parliamentary inquiry. Will that apply to authorship speeches? Because a lot of times those go a little
Say
over
that
2
one more
minutes.
time, I'm sorry.
To authorship and sponsorship speeches. Even like the executive report went over 2 minutes.
Right.
So.
In your discussion, whoever presents, they can present. You can have a good presentation, a thorough presentation. Once that presentation is finished, and that isn't to be a filibuster to get up here and tire everybody out, not that stuff. However, once your discussion and your presentation is finished, any further discussion on that is limited to 2 minutes and 2 times per motion.
Okay.
Cool? I will use my iPhone timer on you. All right. We're going to move to the first thing then, okay? I need a motion to approve the minutes from March 22nd, 2011.
Second.
Is there any discussion on that?
Are these printed? I don't think I've,
They're not.
I don't believe, were they posted though?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
So everyone's together. They're not posted, but they're printed. Motion
No.
is seconded. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the question. All those in favor of approving March 22nd, 2011 Senate meeting minutes, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? All right, congratulations. Number 1 is finished. There are no appropriations requests. Is that correct, Mike?
Correct.
Correct. So that is off the list too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to approve the request for the student organization board.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Do you have a discussion?
Yeah, the 8 organizations that we approved are T2, the Brandeis School of Law Review, Cardinal Town Student Association, Student Parent Association, the International Trumpet Guild, the Gold Humanism Honor Society, the Actuarial Club of the University of Louisville, and Teams for the Working Integration of Green Systems, aka TWIX. That's all I got.
Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to, go ahead.
What's Cardinal Town Student Association?
All right. We discussed this too because of the obvious reasons. We did talk to them, and essentially they're wanting it for the fact. Well, Austin, do you just want to talk?
We just wanted to be able to have the students have a space on campus if they decided to have it, and to have space on campus without like paying for it. You have to be an organization. That's all we need. It's not like for CPC funding or anything like that.
Yeah, and on that fact, I'll be sending. Obviously, we can't ban anybody from, but I'll be sending a letter with my opinion on CPC funding for organizations like that to the CPC board. Yeah.
Will it also be used for things like the RSO fairs and things like that the province and the Bellamy might not have used to, such as orientations and things like that? What will we do?
I mean, yeah. And I mean, from our perspective in passing this RSO, we are basing it on the separation between the two. But, I mean, if something were to happen down the road, then more steps from the current SGA could do something.
Paul.
I was going to say, to address that too, we talked about that a lot in SOB, and one of the things, I think they should be able to have space at orientation fairs, because there are students who go to those who live in those places, but we were told that it wouldn't be used to promote people moving to that location, so we were okay with that.
And I mean, there are several other groups that are already on campus that promote in different orders, and they're just not an RSO, so they're actually taking steps that they're supposed to. So.
All right, is there any more discussion?
I have a question. I'm sorry to bring this forward, but is Cardinal Town in Oregon at the university?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Because if they became an RSO, technically they could support candidates, but then if they're in Oregon, they can't. So how would you do that?
The way that we talked about it at the meeting was that Cardinal Town itself is not going to be an RSO, and Cardinal Town itself is not going to be able to do
That's
anything
just
like
the
that.
name of
Yeah.
But it's just the students who live there are going to be the RSO.
Right, there's the separation, and that can be determined by the Supreme Court. But anyway, that's all we have.
All right, is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the question. All those in favor of approving the student organizations board request, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? Congratulations to these 8 groups.
Yeah, as I call your name, please raise your hand or something. Twigs. All right. T2. School Law Review. Carnival. Student Parent Association. International Trumpet. Gold Humanism. And Actuarial Club.
All right, we're now going to move on to the Chick-fil-A resolution.
I was going to Chick-fil-A and Sabra are being considered together. I'll talk about Chick-fil-A first, really quickly. Since this is the first reading, I won't belabor my points too much. But essentially, a lot of students on campus have been very upset recently about the way that Chick-fil-A has been pumping money